In the last couple of videos, we explored async await and refactor network calls, and those were pretty long videos. This one, however, is going to be pretty quick, but it's a pretty cool feature with a new date formatter that really simplifies working with dates. So go to your extensions. In our date extension, right? This is what we had to write before. Make it a little bigger since we're not dealing with all that much code. Right, convert it to month-year format string, right? We had to create a date formatter. We had to give it this stringly typed format, which you had to go look up, and you had to make sure it was perfectly capitalized and exactly how it was and all that. So there's something much simpler here. So as usual, what I'm gonna do, copy that, paste, and we're gonna comment this out to basically leave the old way so you can check it out, and then we're gonna delete all this stuff. Get out of here. Okay, now, to refresh your memory, let's run the app and I'll show you where this date exists. Of course, why would you delete the code before you're in the app, Sean? Okay, so now we'll run the app to show you the existing way we did it. Cool, favorites, Sean Allen, pick one. Cool, so you see down here, GitHub since Feb 2010. That was the design we wanted. That's what we went with. So just to refresh memory, that's what we're working with. We're trying to recreate that with this new formatter. All right, so we'll stop this. Now we'll go back to the commented version, uncomment. Here's the new stuff. So you're gonna see, this is one line of code now. Pretty nice, right? So we'll return formatted. This is the new thing, right? And then I will open up the initializer. See, you can do date time, or we want a format style here. And the format style I want is .datetime and then .month .year. We're gonna dive into this and show you the options, but I wanna show you the basics first. So now let's run this. And to be honest with you, we just got lucky that the default versions of month and year are what we want. So now when I pick someone here, Mar 2010, that's the exact format we want, and it's kind of like the default format. We just got lucky that the default was how we did things. But let me show you how you can change things up a little bit. So in the month initializer here, if you do dot, you see abbreviated, default digits, narrow, 2 digits, wide, and you can see like down here, wide month name, for example, September. So let's do dot wide, and then for year, you kind of got the same thing, except it's just default digits or 2 digits. So we'll do 2 digits because that's different. So what this should say is the whole month and then just the 2 digits on the year, right? So this is how you can kind of like tweak the date you want. So go to favorites, Sean, we'll pick someone here. So you see GitHub since June 10. This is where it's confusing, right? So that's really June of 2010. That looks like June 10th. So maybe you probably wouldn't want to do that, but I'm showing you the different ways on how you can show the month and the year. So we'll go back to what we had. Well, I'll do a different one here, right? We'll do 2 digits and then we'll keep the year the default. The default is all 4. And then I'll just show you this. This will just be some 4 numbers that'll look a little weird. But again, I'm just kind of showcasing, the different ways that you can go about this, right? So 3/2010. Okay, so actually the 2 digits is a different way. But I haven't played with every single permutation, as you can probably tell. But, if you option click on month, you open up the documentation, symbol month, you can see, right, abbreviated, narrow. You can just see all the different stuff. But actually the documentation does a good job of, even when you just do the dot, right, it gives you that description on what it is down there, right? So abbreviated is the default, so that's why we don't have to actually do abbreviated. But again, for us, we just want month and year, and that gives us the style we want. Feel free to dive in and play around with different permutations on this. For example, like the default just formatted. Let's see what that does. I'm experimenting right now in real time, so we'll see. I assume this is like a typical, it'll spit out a date here. Oh, well, okay, so 2/24/2009, 12:08 a.m. So that's just the basic formatted, and you can customize it from there. But the whole point is, let me do a Command Z to go back here, right? That's the style we want. The whole point is before, I'll uncomment that line, in order to get a specific format, you had to have some seemingly random combination of capital M's, capital D's for day, capital Y or lowercase y was a different, it was confusing. You had to have a whole glossary to figure out the codes for everything. Now, for the most common dates, again, if you have a super weird date format, you may have to go back to this old way, but for the pretty standard common date formats, the new formatted will help out. And again, we covered a pretty basic version, which is month, year. So many different permutations that you can do that I recommend exploring, but that is the new formatter for dates. And if you want to go even further into your exploration on this, numbers also got new formatting. A number of things got new formatting, but a much welcome change.